Have you ever wondered what incredible journey your ancestors took? What ancient empires and forgotten tribes left their mark in your blood? The answers are not lost to time. They're hidden in your DNA. Welcome to DNA Detective, the channel where we solve history's greatest mysteries using the ultimate clue, the human genome. We travel back in time, tracking ancient migrations, debunking national myths, and revealing the shocking connections that prove we are all part of one epic human story. This is where science cracks the codes of the past. Find out what history is written in you. Subscribe, and let's solve the mystery of our roots together. In the rugged heart of the Pyrenees, straddling the border of Spain and France, lives a people who have baffled historians for centuries: the Basques. They are an enigma, a people who seem to exist outside of time. Their language, euskera, is a true orphan. It's not related to Spanish, French, or any other language on Earth. For generations, this linguistic island led to a powerful and popular theory that the Basques are the last of the old Europeans, the direct, unmixed descendants of the Stone Age hunter-gatherers who lived here long before the pyramids were built, long before the Indo-European migrations swept across the continent, erasing everything in their path. They are supposed to be a living fossil, a genetic snapshot of a lost world. But what if I told you that story is a lie? Or at least, not the whole truth. Because when we look at the ultimate historical record, the one written not in books, but in blood, we find a shocking paradox. A ghost in the Basque genome. In the veins of Basque men flows the blood of a people who, according to the history books, were never there. Their paternal DNA contains a marker that should not exist in a population this ancient and isolated. It's the genetic signature of invaders, of conquerors. So, what's the truth? Are the Basques the oldest people in Europe? Or are they the descendants of a mysterious lost army? The history books say one thing, but their DNA tells a completely different story. Today, on DNA Detective, we're going to crack the code of Europe's oldest mystery. Before we bring in the DNA evidence, let's establish the official story. This is the historical dossier on the Basque people. The Basque country, or Euskal Herria, as they call it, is a land of stark beauty and fierce independence. For thousands of years, these mountains have been their fortress, isolating them from the great tides of European history. When the Romans arrived, they noted the strange, non-Latin language of the tribes here, the Aquitani and the Vascones. After Rome fell, the Visigoths, the Franks, and the Moors all tried and failed to completely subdue them. Through it all, they held on to their unique customs and, most importantly, their language. Euskara is a language isolate, a linguistic miracle. It's pre-Indo-European, which is a survivor from a time before Latin, which is before Celtic, which before Germanic tongues ever reached these shores. Well, just listen to it. It sounds like nothing else in Europe. This unique language is the cornerstone of the Basque identity and the main reason for the living fossil theory. The logic was simple. If their language is a Paleolithic relic, then their genes must be too. For a long time, early genetic studies involving things like blood types seemed to support this. The Basques have the highest concentration of Rh-negative blood in the world, another sign of a small, isolated founding population. Everyone from historians to the Basques themselves embraced this powerful origin story. They were the original Europeans, a people who resisted all invaders and preserved their ancient bloodline intact. It's a fantastic story, but there's a problem, a huge one. When modern geneticists gained the tools to read the story of our paternal ancestry, the Y chromosome, they expected to find a unique, ancient European lineage in Basque men, a genetic equivalent of their language. Instead, They found the single most common paternal haplogroup in all of Western Europe, R1b. Now, to a casual observer, this might not seem strange. Okay, so they have the same DNA as their neighbors. But to a genetic detective, this is the smoking gun. This is the central conflict of our investigation. You see, haplogroup R1b is not the genetic signature of pre-Indo-European hunter-gatherers. It's the calling card of the people who replaced them. Genetic evidence has shown that R1b spread across Europe from the eastern steppes, likely with the Indo-European speaking peoples, during the Bronze Age, starting around 4,500 to 5,000 years ago. These were the people of the Kurgan culture, chariot-riding pastoralists who brought their genes, their culture, and their languages with them, transforming the continent forever. So, let's be clear. The history books say the Indo-Europeans never conquered the Basques, but the Y chromosomes of up to 90% of Basque men scream that they are descended from these very people. How is this possible? How can a people speak a pre-Indo-European language but carry the genes of Indo-European men? This is more than just an anomaly. It's a direct contradiction. This is the central mystery we are here to solve. And our central thesis is this. The Basque identity was forged in a prehistoric event that history has forgotten, a massive replacement of the local men, but a miraculous survival of the local women and their language. Let's look at the evidence. The genetic clue number 1, the paternal lines. Let's follow the breadcrumb trail of Y DNA haplogroup R1b. R1b is a massive family tree of paternal lineages. Think of it as a huge clan that started with one man thousands of years ago. His descendants split into different branches, or subclades, as they migrated. While R1b is common across Western Europe, the Basques have an astonishingly high frequency of one particular branch, R1b DF27. It's so common among them, and it's sometimes nicknamed the Basque marker, though it's also found in their neighbors in Spain and France, just at lower frequencies. Now, here's the kicker. For years, scientists thought R1b must be ancient in the Basque region, it a relic from the Ice Age. But recent studies, analyzing ancient skeletons, then have completely overturned that theory. DNA from Neolithic and Mesolithic skeletons in the Basque region shows no trace of R1b. The men who lived there before the Bronze Age belonged to entirely different haplogroups. Then, around 4,200 years ago, something dramatic happens. The genetic landscape is completely rewritten. The old paternal lines vanish from the archaeological record, and R1b suddenly appears and becomes dominant. The evidence points to one conclusion: a massive influx of new men into the region, who almost entirely replaced the previous male population. This was a demographic revolution. These were not just a few traders or a small band of wanderers. This was a wave of people that changed the Basque gene pool forever. And here is where the mystery deepens. The arrival of these R1b men coincides with the arrival of Indo-European languages all over the rest of Europe. In Britain, the Beaker people arrived with R1b, and eventually, Celtic languages emerged. In Italy, R1b arrived, and Italic languages took hold. In Iberia, the same groups brought the ancestors of Celtiberian languages. But in the Pyrenees, the R1b men arrived, and the ancient, non-Indo-European language of Euskara survived. Why? To answer that, we need to look at the other half of the story. We need to investigate the maternal lines. Genetic clue number 2, the maternal lines. The story of our ancient mothers is told by mitochondrial DNA, or mtDNA. It's passed down from mother to child, giving us an unbroken line back through the generations. And the story told by Basque mtDNA is completely different from the story of their Y DNA. Basque maternal lineages are incredibly diverse and, crucially, incredibly ancient. Many of their specific haplogroups, like U5b1F, J1c5c1, and V22, are found almost exclusively in the Franco-Cantabrian region. Geneticists have traced the origins of these maternal lines back to the Mesolithic and Neolithic periods, thousands of years before the arrival of R1b. We have even found some of these exact same mtDNA lineages in the skeletons of early Iberian farmers who lived 5,500 years ago. So get this. The DNA from ancient skeletons shows us that while the paternal lines of the Basques were almost completely replaced during the Bronze Age, the maternal lines show a clear and direct continuity with the pre-Indo-European people who lived there before the upheaval. This is our breakthrough moment. The crime scene is giving up its secrets. The evidence shows us exactly what happened. A massive, male-dominated migration met the local population. The incoming men that carrying R1b had children with the local women, who carried these ancient mtDNA lineages. But this still does not solve the biggest puzzle: the language. In almost every other case in history, when a new, dominant group of men arrives, they bring their language with them, and it becomes the language of prestige, the language of the new ruling class. So why did the children of these R1b fathers and pre-Indo-European mothers grow up speaking the ancient language of their mothers, and not the Indo-European tongue of their fathers? This is where we have to move beyond pure genetics and synthesize the evidence. The survival of the Euskara language is the key that unlocks the entire mystery. The fact that it survived suggests that the interaction between the newcomers and the locals was not a simple, brutal conquest where one culture completely annihilated the other. Instead, we can hypothesize a more complex scenario. Perhaps the incoming Bronze Age men did not arrive as a conquering army, but as smaller, mobile groups of pastoralists. They may have had superior technology or social organization which allowed them to become dominant, but they were still reliant on the local women. In any society, who is primarily responsible for raising children and passing on language in the earliest years? The mothers. The local women, carrying their ancient culture, they raised their children who had the new R1b Y chromosomes and spoke to them in Euskara. For some reason, this maternal language became the dominant one. Perhaps the newcomers were small in number at first, integrating into existing communities. Perhaps the women held a special status. We may never know the exact social dynamics. What we do know is that once this new hybrid population was formed, genetically Indo-European on the male side, but pre-Indo-European on the female side and in language, something else happened that sealed their unique fate: isolation. A recent study confirmed the genetic singularity of the Basques, but found it really only began to emerge in the Iron Age, about 2,500 years ago. This suggests that after that initial mixture, the Basque population became highly isolated, with very little new gene flow from surrounding peoples like the Romans or North Africans. This centuries-long isolation, protected by their mountain homeland and possibly reinforced by their unique language barrier, allowed this new, unique genetic and linguistic profile to solidify. They became the Basques we know today. So, let's deliver the verdict in this historical cold case. Who are the Basque people? They are not a pure remnant of the Stone Age, but they are not simply another Indo-European people either. They are something far more remarkable. They are the result of a profound prehistoric fusion. They are the living legacy of pre-Indo-European mothers who passed down their ancient language and culture to the children of Indo-European fathers. This genetic secret is what shaped their entire historical destiny. Their unique language kept them distinct. Their genetic heritage, a blend of old and new, created a people resilient enough to withstand the tides of history. This explains why they feel so ancient, and yet are so deeply connected to the rest of Western Europe. They are a paradox, and now we know why. It's a reminder that identity is never simple. It's not about purity. It's about the stories of mixture and migration that are written into the DNA of every single person on Earth. The Basques are not famous because they resisted mixture, but they are remarkable because of the unique way they mixed, creating a cultural outcome that happened almost nowhere else. People of Basque descent are found all over the world, from the great explorer Juan Sebastián Elcano, who completed the first circumnavigation of the Earth, to saints like Ignatius of Loyola, to modern figures like the former CEO of Coca-Cola, Roberto Goizueta, and even American celebrities like actor Hector Elizondo. Each one carries a piece of this incredible story. In the beginning, we asked a question: are the Basques the oldest people in Europe? The answer is more complex and beautiful than a simple yes or no. Their maternal bloodline and their language are among the most ancient on the continent. It's a true echo of a lost world. But their paternal bloodline tells a story of change, of migration, of a new beginning in the Bronze Age. They are simultaneously one of the oldest and one of the newest peoples of Europe. Their story proves that DNA is the most honest chronicle we have. It holds all our secrets. It remembers the migrations our history books forgot, and it honors the ancient mothers whose languages we may still speak today, and even if we carry the genes of fathers who arrived from a different world. The mystery of the Basque people is not that they are a people frozen in time. The mystery is that they are a living testament to a moment of fusion that changed everything. What's the most surprising story hidden in your own family's DNA? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to solve more of history's greatest mysteries, make sure you subscribe to DNA Detective and ring that bell so you never miss an investigation. Thanks for watching.